Good morning, students. I hope all of you are well. As I told you that I would take this week to revise all those chapters that were done in classes. So today is the last chapter from the covered material we are going to revise. And from next week, inshallah, we will begin new lessons. So it is my request to you, kindly must learn by heart all the details that related to different empires we did. And inshallah we will begin next lesson in upcoming class. So you see here is chapter 12 we are going to attempt, and it's empires in East Asia. And I already had written all that covered material is 7 to 12 that is done in February and March, and I have also mentioned the page numbers, that is 189 to 320. So you start moving. So today we are going to cover chapter 12, and that is about the Tang and Song China. So in this lesson we covered, like we read about changes in China during the Tang and Song dynasties. We read all the details about these dynasties, and few of the terms, like I always revise, is in this lesson is Tang Taizong. Who was Tang Taizong? He was a great emperor of Tang dynasty. Then we have another term that is Wuzhou. That is Wuzhou. It's not a Z is silent here, and I checked its pronunciation. It was Wu Chao. They pronounce it Wu Chao. She was a lady. She was the only woman in China that ever assumed the title of emperor. So she was a lady and she was an emperor, and she was the only emperor in China that was a woman. And then we also read a term in our lesson, movable type. So you should know what is the meaning of movable type. It's mean wood or metal blocks, each with a single character that can be arranged to make up a page for printing. Then you read another term or word in your lesson, that is gentry, very easy word, and it's mean powerful upper class. Okay, and after this I'm going to play a video for you, and at the end you must have to watch this short video, and after this video, at the end of all lessons we will have questions which you are supposed to do. So watch this video, it's very short, and please watch it carefully. Okay, so here is the video I'm going to play. It's about Tang and Song dynasties. Okay, here is the So next we have I hope you have seen the video and the main points in it. So next we have next lesson is the Mongols, and in this lesson you have read about the rise and conquest of the Mongols, and have also analyzed the details about the Mongol rule in China. So here are a few terms which you read in the lesson as like pastoralist, sorry, it's not pest, it's pastoralist. Pastoralist is a person who tamed animals. Then you read a term clan. Clan means a large group of people related to a common ancestor. Then there is a name of a leader here, Genghis Khan. He was a leader who brought together the Mongol clans. Then we have another term, Pax Mongolia. Okay, Pax Mongolia. It was a period when Mongols imposed order across much of the Eurasia, and it was from mid 1200s to mid 1300s. This time period was from mid 1200 to mid 1300. And then we have another leader name, that is Kublai Khan. Kublai Khan, he was a Mongol leader and he was also a Chinese emperor. And then we have another name, very important name, is Marco Polo. Marco Polo, you must have heard about him many times. Marco Polo, he was a traveler from Venice, and he served Kublai Khan for 17 years, not 1700, 17 years he served Kublai Khan. Okay, so now I'm going to play a video about the rise and fall of Mongols. You will get a little idea. So watch this video, and after this we have few questions. Okay, here we play.
It was the largest contiguous land empire in history, stretching from Korea to Ukraine and from Siberia to southern China, and was forged on the open plains. In the 12th century CE, before the Mongol Empire formed, the East Asian steppe was home to scattered groups of Mongol and Turkic pastoral nomads led by Khans. The people herded sheep, cattle, yaks, and camels. They lived in felt tents and moved between summer and winter campsites. Nomadic women held significant authority, managing these migrations, many of the flocks, and trade. Meanwhile, men specialized in mounted warfare. These nomadic groups often fought each other. That was to change under Temujin, who was born into an aristocratic Mongol family. Despite losing his father at an early age and growing up in poverty, he quickly rose to power by forging strategic alliances with other leaders. Unlike those Khans, Temujin promoted soldiers based on merit and distributed spoils evenly among them. His most brilliant move was to scatter the nomads he conquered among his own soldiers so they couldn't join together against him. These innovations made him unstoppable, and by 1206 he had united the people of the felt wall tents and become Chinggis Khan. The Mongols were shamanists, believing that the spirits of nature and their ancestors inhabited the world around them. Over all arched the sky god Tengiri. Chinggis Khan believed that Tengiri wanted him to conquer the entire world in his name. With the nomads of the Mongolian plain united, this seemed within reach. Anyone who resisted the Mongols was resisting Tengiri's will, and for this insubordination, had to die. Under Chinggis Khan, the Mongols first subdued northern China and the eastern Islamic lands. After his death in 1227, the divine mandate passed to his family, or the golden lineage. In the 1230s, Chinggis Khan's sons and daughters conquered the Turks of Central Asia and the Russian princes, then destroyed 2 European armies in 1241. In the 1250s, the Mongols seized Islamic territory as far as Baghdad, while in the east, their grasp reached southern China by 1279. Life within the Mongol Empire wasn't just war, pillage, and destruction. Once the Mongols conquered a territory, they left its internal politics alone and used local administrators to govern for them. The Mongols let all religions flourish, as long as the leaders prayed for them. Although they routinely captured artisans, scholars, and engineers, they appreciated what those specialists could do, and forcibly settled them across Asia to continue their work. The most valuable produce in the empire was gold brocade, which took silk from China, gold from Tibet, and weavers from Baghdad. Gold brocade clothed the Mongol rulers, covered their horses, and lined their tents. the Mongols particularly prized gunpowder technicians from China. With much of Eurasia politically unified, trade flourished along the Silk Road, helped by an extensive system of horse messengers and relay posts. Robust trade continued at sea, especially in blue and white porcelain, which combined white pottery from Mongol China with blue dye from Mongol Iran. But this was not to last. Succession to the Great Khan didn't automatically go to the eldest son, but rather allowed brothers, uncles, and cousins to vie for leadership, with senior widows acting as regents for their sons. By the 1260s, Chinggis Khan's grandsons were in a full-blown civil war over inheritance and fragmented the realm into 4 separate empires. In China, Kublai Khan's Yuan dynasty is remembered as a golden age of science and culture. In Iran, the Ilkhanate inaugurated the development of new monumental architecture and Persian miniature painting. In Central Asia, the Chagatai Khanate brought forth leaders like Timur and his descendant Babur, who founded the Mongol Empire in India. And in Eastern Europe, the Golden Horde ruled for years, until a trading post named Muscovy grew into a major world power. Even though the empire lasted only a short while, the Mongols left a legacy of world domination that remains unmatched today. Trace the rise and fall of other powerful empires with this playlist.
Okay, so I hope you have seen the video properly. Now you got the idea about the rise and fall of the Mongols in this video. Now at the end we have the essential questions. These are not the only questions you are supposed to cover. There are few more, like there are more questions in the lesson, plus you have assessments at the end of each chapter. You also have to see that. So few questions I collected, like what changes occurred during the Tang dynasty. You should know their answers after reading the whole chapter in detail. How did Tang rulers change China? What happened during the Song dynasty? How did the Song emperors try to obtain peace? How did the nomads of Asian steppe live? And who united the Mongols? How did Genghis Khan organize his soldiers? How did Kublai Khan help China, and what did Kublai Khan do as a ruler? So these are the questions. You need to find their answers, and after reading them you should be able to answer all of these questions. And at the end, like always, the most important thing is the task for today, and you have to prepare assessment of chapter 12, that is from page 320 till 338. So you have to prepare it. You have to learn by heart all the important points in about these empires, so that we can, from next week we will begin new lessons. So I hope you are quite prepared for your in this week. I hope we have revised so many things. So take care of yourself. Inshallah, see you again. Bye bye.